No, this is not satire. Also, I don't think he's going to end up voting. Watch the most recent Joe Rogan podcast featuring Elon Musk, both historically Democrat, for more information as to why. Notice Trump/Vance's willingness to answer questions in the total silence on the side of Harris/Waltz. Again, food for thought. Okay, can I just say, Faze Banks' entire summarization is everything I've told you about a specific type of guy. I wasn't referencing him when I was talking about like my apolitical voters who are like low propensity voter friends. But he fits that bill so perfectly. I don't care, still face the fuck up. Oh, me too, brother. Please, whatever decision you make, ultimately, just please make the decision to vote. Oh my God, he's so lived up. He's saying like, no matter who you vote for, just vote. I'm done with this country, bro.
So with only a few hours left, we still have work to do. And as you've heard me say before, we like hard work. Hard work is good work. Hard work is joyful work. And make no mistake, we will win.
How do I revote? Lol, I already voted for Kamala. Phase up.
My entire career.
Austin is freaking out about the Faze Banks endorsement right now. Dude, oh my God. The Faze Banks endorsement is pivotal. It's shocking the world. I mean, it's not very shocking, but it still has a tendency to shock the world. All right, I'm calling him right now. I can't really hear you.
I'm on my laptop.
Oh my God, your audio is so low, dude. And do you not have a microphone? What happened? Did the Democratic Party take away your microphone? What's going on?
Oh, well, is this better?
It's better. It's better.
What's good? How are you?
I'm good.
So
I was literally about to be done with the stream, but then I got your text message, and as someone who has been phasing up for as long as I've known myself, I was shocked. I wouldn't say I was shocked necessarily about your endorsement, but I was a little distraught personally. Connor Eats Pants wanted you to know that there are people out there who are still pro Faze and pro Kamala Harris.
Well, that's amazing. I'm happy that we live in that version of America.
Yeah, he said, please remind him I love Faze Clan and Kamala. We exist. That's what he said.
I'm obsessed with Connor. I love you. Unironically got you an American flag for your birthday. Don't know if you remember that Rick Owens flag.
I do remember. It used to be behind me, but we moved it away. But I got to bring it back now. Now it's even worth more because it's been given to me by a real American patriot.
Faze Banks.
Yeah, there's some people in the chat that are saying they lowered their Faze symbol for a second when they saw you endorse Donald Trump.
Listen, that's okay. Listen, let me preface all jokes aside. Let me just preface all this by saying never in a million years did I think I'd be on a Hassan live stream talking about politics. I'm not a political guy. The entire time we've known each other for how long now?
It's been years. Right? Yeah,
years. And I don't think we've ever touched base on anything in the world of politics. I'm not one to even like get out and go vote or endorse one side or the other either way. Typically don't give a fuck. And when it comes to like dabbling in coming to like my own conclusions and consuming like political content, it's typically via, and I know this is gonna kill you, but Destiny, yourself. Typically like I find it more interesting to watch like the more like left leaning.
So it seems like neither of us were able to convince you.
I'll like dabble in like Charlie Kirk and stuff too, but again, preface like the fact that I think his views and like his take on like abortion and stuff like that are insane. I think he's like a little too like God Christianity heavy. That's just like my like general like normie.
No wrong answers in this situation. I'm just
my biggest thing for you and how I came to this conclusion is really this. It's just like, again, like I said in the tweet, it's just there are some like glaring like hypocrisies on the left that I've noticed over I guess the biggest thing I would say and like how I feel is just duped and like tricked. Obviously the left played heavily into like identity politics and took a more like emotional like stance and angle, all things considered, I would say.
What do you mean by that?
You know what I mean? Like the narratives, like I said, the narrative of Trump being a racist because
you don't think Trump is a racist?
Before he was even elected, I don't think that Trump's a racist for the reasons that are typically like pushed via the left. No, I don't.
Like what do you like as in
I don't think Trump's any more racist than Joe Biden is.
Okay, to be fair, I don't fully disagree with you. I think that Donald Trump is individually a racist and was just as racist at the time when Joe Biden was like writing racist legislation in the early 90s and the 80s. He took an ad calling for the execution of the Central Park Five in the New York Times. His real estate properties that him and his father owned have been routinely investigated by federal authorities like far before he ever became a television personality,
listen,
for like not housing black people.
All these 4 points and specific examples you give me, there'd be always somebody on the right who would give me an equal number of bullet points and examples as to why Joe Biden's more of a racist.
No, but I'm not telling you Joe Biden's not racist. I think Joe Biden.
That's what I'm saying though. As far as like the racist narrative, I would say it's a zero-sum game where that narrative is pushed heavily by the left.
Also, Biden is not running for president right now. It's Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris is, and Kamala Harris just sat in office as the vice president for 4 years.
But that's just what vice presidents do, really. It's not really it's more so a symbolic position.
That must be what Joe Biden did too, because Joe Biden can't even stand up straight.
I don't even disagree with that.
Joe Biden knows who's running for president right now. So in that case, who the fuck is the president? Who's running shit?
In many instances, I think, and Trump is a little bit unique on this, but in many instances, I think like people don't just simply vote for the person, they vote for the administration. And oftentimes it's not like George W. Bush is a great example of this. Like George W. Bush was a Republican, right? And he was a overall dumb guy. And he was basically like the shadow president under his administration was Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney was basically running the entire show. The president can sometimes be basically just a figurehead that is the placeholder for the administration, the entirety of the administration, the people that he hires. I think that.
So then in that case, what does any of it matter, right? I guess I would say it's kind of the same.
Well, when you advocate for a president, I think
kind of a zero-sum game at that point.
No, I think when you advocate for a president, you're definitely advocating for not just the individual themselves, but you're advocating for the legislation that the president is going to advocate for, and also the agencies.
Again, that's why in my tweet I highlighted inflation and border security as border with an A, security as heavily as I do.
So
again, it's crazy to me because Hassan, I know you were obviously there. This is your whole livelihood and your whole career is rooted and based in politics. So obviously you were there through it and you consumed a lot more of it than somebody like I would.
Yeah, and I was very critical of Kamala Harris's decisions and also the Biden administration's decisions, especially when it comes to right-wing border. All the right-wing border stuff that they were talking about. As a matter of fact, something that you pointed out in your tweet, the perceived hypocrisy of the Democratic Party saying that Trump is racist for a border wall and then continuing to try and fund a border wall themselves and then claim Trump is the hypocrite for not pushing for the border wall because it's the Democrats advocating for it. That is actually double hypocrisy. Like Trump is being hypocritical for saying, I don't want that border bill to pass through because I don't want to give the Democrats a W on this. But you're right. The Democrats are being hypocritical when they say that.
Listen, again, don't get me wrong. I'm not like a huge pro-Trump guy. And in terms of like dividing the country in half and just being pretty bad in terms of like how, just general morale and the way that people interact with each other, conversations like this happening. I think Trump is probably the worst president in history. But
so you're saying he's more divisive? Like Trump has created more divisiveness in the country?
I don't think necessarily by his own fault. Or that's his own intention, but again, he's been demonized from the left in the traditional media since before he was elected. Like you just said, the general response to his "build the wall." Remember that mantra, "build the wall, build the wall." Before, I'm pretty sure that was his slogan before even MAGA was a thing, right? This is very, very early, and these were like the earliest conversations where the opposing side claimed that was a racist thing to say, was to build a wall. You want to build a wall? You don't like Mexicans?
Yeah, Kamala Harris personally said it was racist and stupid, and then she advocated to build
Kamala Harris in an interview a week ago was talking about how we need to build more wall. 8 years later.
I agree with you. I think it is unimaginably hypocritical.
Hold on, this guy had to endure 8 years of being labeled, bastardized, demonized, called a racist, and it's a snowball, right? It starts with that, and then one thing leads to another, and it becomes his entire brand that's pushed by traditional media and by the left, right? For 8 years, and then the left, it becomes such an issue. 20 million people crossing the border later. Now it's undeniably an issue.
That's also not true. Those numbers aren't
How much
correct.
is it? What was it last year?
I don't know what the exact number of like border apprehensions or border crossings are, but the border apprehension number is not necessary in this conversation.
A lot more than Trump. A lot more than Trump.
Yeah, a lot of that is immigration overflow from COVID. But once the post-COVID border shutdown was put aside, a lot of people that were waiting.
I'm So there's like a
to
fluffy,
see.
nice way to frame, like a left way to frame it.
No,
Like,
I'm not. I'm not giving you a left wing framing. I'm just telling you exactly what happened. I am not in favor of Kamala Harris